The inspiration for Harklights came from Bradgate Park, north of Leicester, and growing up I used to love going there with my family and climbing inside hollow oak trees. And many years later I returned to Bradgate Park, and on the return from finding the hollow oak that we used to climb in the distance there was what I thought was a tree, and in the fading light of the autumn sunshine it stood up and revealed itself to be a stag. And that moment burned itself in my mind and gave me the idea for the tree stag, half crown, which appears in Harklights. They are miniature protectors of the forest. And one of the things I love about the Hobs is that because they're so small, they've never lost this sort of wonder of the natural world. I think as children when we're growing up, I think that we have an enchantment with nature, and that's something I very much wanted to capture. And I think that we should always hold on to that enchantment and not lose it as we grow up. One of my favourite books growing up was a book called The Brewer's Dictionary of Phrase and Fable. And we had a copy, an ancient copy from 1890 that belonged to my paternal grandmother. And I never got to meet her because she died when my father was a boy. So for me, this book had a lot of reverence and mystery. And Brewers was filled full of folklore and myths and legends, and it had lots of imaginary and magical creatures. And the name Hob comes from Brewers, and it's an old Scottish word meaning household spirit. For me, I've had lots of papaherns in my life. My mum, she always taught me about the names of wild plants and animals. So we were members of the watch group, which was organised by the local wildlife trust, and we used to go on bat walks and we used to go on woodland walks. And another series of books that I loved growing up were Usborne's Spotter's Guides, or the Spotter's Handbook. And these were filled full of information and facts about plants and animals and trees, and I used to love going off for walks in the woods and forests with this. For me, it's important to look after our woods and forests because I think we should be living in balance with nature. So if we are cutting down trees, we need to be replanting those trees so we're not losing our forests. I haven't seen a wood sprite or a hob, but I hope that one day I might. And I hope you enjoy Wick's adventure in Harklights.